Hey Eco Explorers! My name's Anna. I'm an educator at the North Carolina Arboretum. For those of you that might be new, here's a quick rundown of how ecoexplore works and what you need to do to participate. Sign up at ecoexplore.net with your grown-up and create a username. From there you can take photos of insects, plants, birds, mammals, really anything that's alive besides pets or humans. Once you've taken some photos, upload and submit your observations to your ecoexplore account. Your photos will then be reviewed by our staff, and some of your photos might even end up on the iNaturalist network to help real scientists. Now that we've gone over the basics, let's get back to where we were last week. And boy, was it a busy one. Does everything seem to be moving a bit slower this week? Maybe it's because you finished a whirlwind week of taking photos, identifying them, and submitting them online to help scientists during the City Nature Challenge. Or maybe it's because you're looking at the world or your backyard through the lens of plants. Whoa, far out! Well, that was cool. For the entire month of May, we'll be taking a closer look at our photosynthetic friends, plants. Each week, we will introduce a new theme and challenge to keep you motivated while earning your botany badge. From these challenges, as well as the ones online, you must complete 3 out of 6 in order to earn your botany badge. This month's focus is on plant relationships with itself, with animals, with people, and with you. For this week's challenge, have you ever thought, what is it like to be a plant? Well, what if you could interview one and find out? What would you ask it? What would its answers be? Oh, hold on. I'm getting breaking news. Sounds like Rich, one of our field reporters, just got an exclusive interview with an endangered species that only lives in the southern Appalachians. It's called a graze lily. Hold on. Hey Rich, what's on the gray lily's mind?
Great, thanks Anna. Yeah, I'm here with the graze lily. I just want to make sure before we get started, graze lily, I'm using one of these dead sticks here as a microphone, and just wanted to make sure that was okay that we use this, considering this might be a cousin of yours.
Oh yeah, I love sticks, because, you know, Rich, after you're done with it, it'll just fall to the ground and decompose, and then it'll turn into more nutrient-rich soil that'll help me grow strong and healthy.
Oh, that's a super cool way that you young gun plants that look so beautiful in your prime can use some of that dead wood that, as you just said, is nutrient rich. I was hoping that we could maybe do this interview down here without you on that ladder, like a normal plant would. What are you doing up there?
Oh, well, yeah, that's fine. I can come down. But actually, graze lilies don't really like to hang out in low places. We usually live up on really high mountains in the southern Appalachians. Places like Roan Mountain. Have you ever heard of that?
One of my all-time favorite places to hike.
Oh, us graze lilies love Roan Mountain. It has everything that we need to survive. Lots of sunlight in those open grassy areas. It's up really high where there's fog and rain, so we get lots of moisture that we can use for photosynthesis. It's a really healthy environment, and it's a really special place. There's lots of plants and animals and mushrooms and lichens even that can only live in places like Roan Mountain and nowhere else.
That sounds pretty darn unique. I want to toss it back to Anna here in a second, who's going to tell us a little bit more about what plants need in order to survive.
Great, thanks Rich. Plants have 5 basic needs that they must have in order to survive. You may remember from an earlier video that plants make their own food. To do this, they need a few simple ingredients, which are 3 of those 5 needs. Plants need sunlight. Plants need water. And plants need carbon dioxide from the air we breathe out. As you may recall, altogether that's photosynthesis. Plants also need soil to keep their roots in place, and as the graze lily said, to provide nutrients to keep them strong and healthy. For the last plant need, can you guess what it might be? I'll give you a hint. We need it too. Imagine you and your class were crammed into a tiny closet. Do you think you'd be very happy or able to learn? Probably not. So if you guessed that the last plant need is space, you're right. Awesome, now that we've gone over those 5 basic needs, let's get back to the interview with the graze lily.
Ah, that's helpful info, Anna. Thank you. Crazy Lily, do you mind if we get into some seedier topics next?
Sure, shoot.
Or do you mean STEM? We like to have lots of fun here. Anyways, as Anna was talking about those roots, I don't quite understand how plants are able to move at all, considering those roots keep them stable and in place. What's going on there?
Well, yeah, you're right that adult plants are rooted and usually can't move from place to place, although they can sort of bend toward the light. But many plants make seeds, and often those seeds are designed to be carried from place to place, whether it's by wind or by water or by animals. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm a huge fan of your other videos. And I learned in some of those that plants like red maple trees and dandelions have seeds that are specially designed to be carried by the wind. And actually, Gray's lilies are similar. We have seeds that are designed to be carried by the wind.
Whoa, that's super cool. I mean, you look so different from a dandelion, but yet have some of the same functions as them. That's really super cool. Do you happen to have any seeds with you right now?
Well, so adult plants usually don't have flowers and seeds at the same time because the flowers get pollinated and then they turn into seeds. But actually, I happen to bring along one of my seeds from last year. Let me show it to you. So this is what a Gray's lily seed looks like. It's kind of triangular, kind of thin, and it has this papery edge on it, and that actually helps it get carried by the wind. You want to see it fly?
More than anything in the world. Let's go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Sweet, thanks again, Rich. As the Gray's lily shared, one way that plants make sure there are future plants of the same species is by releasing seeds. Can you picture how a plant starts its life? That's right, a little seed in the ground. When it's ready, it'll start to spread its roots, and then eventually it'll sprout out of the ground like this. As the stem grows, it eventually puts out leaves and flowers. When pollen enters the flower, it turns it into a fruit. Inside that fruit are little seeds, which brings us all the way back to the beginning. That's the circle of life for you, plant style. Now let's go back to the Gray's lily and Rich one last time.
Great. Thanks for clarifying, Anna. Gray's lily, I must compliment you. You're in full bloom and look absolutely unbelievable. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about your life story. You haven't always been this pretty, right?
No, and actually Gray's lily has kind of an interesting life story and kind of a long life story. We start out as a little seed like the one that you just saw flying through the air. And if that seed lands in a spot that has all the right conditions to grow, then it'll sprout, but first it just sprouts underground for the whole first year. It doesn't grow above the ground at all. Maybe in the second year, it'll start to put out a stem and some green leaves above the ground, but it can take as long as 4 years before it starts to have its first flower. Luckily, after that, it gets to flower for another 4 or 5 years, but it's pretty different than plants that can start as a seed and grow all the way to a flower in just one season.
Man, seems like you gotta work really hard to earn those stripes.
Actually, they're spots.
Oh, sorry. I must not be wearing my glasses. Okay, here's a low-hanging fruit question for you. What do you like to do in your free time besides spreading seeds and looking pretty?
Oh, my free time? That's easy. Definitely just hanging out, catching some sun rays. You know, helps keep me from getting hungry and also helps me tan up a little bit for the summer.
Ah, I like to bronze up too before going to the beach. Wait, you like to go to the beach?
No, I've always wanted to go. It's just too low elevation.
Well, there's probably lots of other activities you've never done. Have you ever, ridden a bike, painted, played hopscotch?
Can't say that I have. It sounds like a breath of fresh air, though.
Well, stick around, Gray's Lily, because we could get into all of that. It's been a real pleasure talking to you. You've been the tree's seeds, the bee's knees. We'll catch you next time. Let's send it back to Anna, who will tell you about the challenge for the botany badge.
Wow, that was quite the interview. Not sure I was expecting all of that, but I definitely learned a lot. Thanks, Rich. Before we sign off, I want to expand on this week's challenge. It's simple. Go outside, find a plant, and interview it. You can use some of the questions Rich asked the Gray's lily, or you can come up with some on your own. Just remember to write out the answers of what you think your plant's response would be to your questions. Don't forget to check your email every Monday for a spiffy new newsletter with lots of fun activities. Also, tune into ecoexplore's Facebook Live every weekday at 2 p.m. to see some exploring in action and maybe get a little inspired. Good luck, have fun, keep exploring.
Trees of green and red roses too, I watched them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Pretty slowly, it goes over there by the post. Little bit left. Little bit further. Little further. All right. Back her on in. Perfect. Thanks.